YouTube. Today I wanted to talk to you guys and go over the Chase Trifecta, one of the most famous and standard simple credit card strategies that a lot of people use. Even the most beginner credit card guys know about this and utilize it. You don't have to be a super expert. You don't even have to deal with multiple different banks. This is one of the most simplest, straightforward credit card strategies that you can run. So I wanted to give my assessment and opinions on it and go through it. So right now, what we have on the screen is the Chase Trifecta, which is the Chase Freedom Flex, the Chase Freedom Unlimited, and then one of the Sapphire cards. Now technically people can kind of play with these any kind of way they want. You can technically say you have a reserve, preferred, and unlimited, or preferred, reserve, and flex and stuff like that. But to me, I know the Chase Trifecta as the Freedom Flex, Unlimited, and one of the Sapphire cards. I would say the best option would probably be the preferred, but if you have more money and you are in a better position to get the reserve, then you can do the reserve as well. But definitely one of the Sapphire cards. So the whole point of this Chase Trifecta strat when it comes to this credit card strategy is the fact that you're using all three of these cards that obviously get the same chase points and all that in the same family to basically go all in on Chase and Chase rewards, points, Chase travel, all of that, and funnel it into one bank. So everything you do is going to be getting the maximum value that you can get. So for example, if we look at some of these cards, so the Freedom Unlimited is going to be the card. The reason it's called Unlimited, you get 1.5% cash back for everything. So the average credit card would be 1% on everything. This is 1.5% on everything. And then we're gonna have 3% on dining, 3% on drugstore, 5% on travel, and then 1.5 on everything. So that's why it's called the Unlimited, like I said. So that's going to be the main kind of thing about this, is that you can get 1.5 across the board. Then you have the Freedom Flex. So again, goes with the name. This is a more flexible credit card in which you can get 5% bonus earnings on and you change it by category every quarter. And then besides that, 3% on dining, 3% on drugstore, and then 5% just like on the Unlimited. But the key selling point with this is that you have 5% back on revolving categories that you choose each quarter. So these, when you mix up the Flex and the Unlimited, this is where you get this kind of big power to be able to say you're gonna get the max points possible, because you're getting at a bare minimum 1.5 with the Unlimited on anything, and then you got 5% back on particular categories, and then on top of that you're getting good multipliers on drugstore, travel, and dining. So again, that's the point of the Trifecta, is you're going all in. Everything is obviously with Chase, you stay within the family, so you're getting at kind of maxing out the points sort of with these specific cards. So now at this point, with just these two cards, you're gonna get a higher percent back on every purchase than on average somebody who's just who has one card, a PayPal card, and then an Apple card, and all these cards from different banks in their their toolbox, so to speak. So then you got one of the Sapphire cards. So for the sake of the video, I'm choosing the Preferred, which is kind of a mid-tier credit card. I would categorize it as. 75k bonus points. Obviously that's going to be great, and you'll get outsized value in your first year. And then 5% or 5x rather travel, 3x on dining, so same as the other credit cards. And obviously this is going to be the, you know, whichever Sapphire card you get is going to be more for the premium rewards. So obviously it's going to differ. Obviously, again, with the reserve, it's going to be higher rewards, but your mileage, you know, may vary. It's just all dependent on your preferences. But obviously, so the Sapphire is going to be for that extra, you know, luxury, that luxury side of the equation, and obviously with coming with an annual fee. So the whole point of this of the Chase Trifecta is, like I said, to funnel all of this, the power of, you know, the luxury card, which is the Sapphire card, the unlimited, which has, you know, its part in this, which is unlimited 1.5x on everything. And then the Freedom Flex, which is the flexible one. You're going to get 5% back, which is obviously, you know, a lot when it comes to getting cash back and points back and rewards in general. That's going to be more than, you know, general credit cards out there, but it's on revolving categories quarterly, so obviously that's the catch, but it's still great. You know, there are other credit cards that do that, like the Discover card, and I know the Discover card at least. But obviously, again, if you were doing, you know, if you had the Chase Unlimited and Chase Sapphire Preferred, but you had the Discover card that had 5% on quarterly categories, then you know you got, these are separate, so now you're getting points on different banks and getting different, you know, you're getting Discover points here, Chase points here, so now it's diluted. So that's the whole idea with the Chase Trifecta, is putting this all together so you can have everything in one family. And I think personally this is really good for, you know, people who kind of want to get those credit card rewards but don't want to be, you know, dealing with different banks, and, you know, they can't manage all that. They want something simpler but kind of dip more than just a toe into the credit card reward space. This is a good option. There are also options like the Amex Trifecta, and you can kind of, you know, there, you know, even Capital One, maybe, you know, kind of trifectas and setups you can do with, you know, if you bank with Capital One or Amex mostly. But the Chase Trifecta, this is the most famous one. I might do a video on the other ones, but this is the most famous one. And even if you don't have your regular checking account with Chase, this is still a good option. You know, you can still run the Chase Trifecta. So this is one of the best, especially the way each card complements each other, and then the way Chase's points are valued and the way you can use those. It's probably the best trifecta you can get, but we'll see. I'll make another video on at least the Amex Trifecta and some of the other trifectas in the credit card space with different banks. But tell me, guys, what you think. Do you guys run the Chase Trifecta card strategy, and what are your thoughts on it? I think it's pretty well renowned, and I definitely approve of it. It's definitely a viable setup. But I will see you guys in the next one.